Brooks ads for Skechers Shape-Ups told consumers
the newest move in fitness is tying your shoelaces.
While Kim Kardashian advertised she was dumping her personal trainer for a pair of the much-hyped leg and butt-toning sneakers.
Bye-bye, trainer. Hello, Shape-Ups.
But the Federal Trade Commission is now saying the notion of putting on these shoes in lieu of working out isn't quite working out like Skechers advertised. And then there was the shoemaker's claim about an independent clinical study by a chiropractor. The FTC says not only did the claims prove untrue, but the so-called independent doctor is actually married to a Skechers marketing executive. As a result of what the FTC calls deceptive advertising, Skechers now has to foot a $40 million bill. Look at it like this. In 2010 alone, people spent $1 billion on toning shoes, and Skechers was the market leader. So even after paying out this $40 million settlement, it seems the company itself will be, as advertised, in great shape. The FTC settled similar charges with Reebok last year for $25 million.
This isn't just juice. This is naked juice, called such because it follows an ancient tradition, celebrating Mother Nature's ways, no added sugar, no preservatives.
I came across this, and looking at the label, I thought this looked great, right? No sugars added. However, you need to look at the nutrition label. This 15 fluid ounce bottle of naked juice contains 53 grams of sugars. Most cans of soda carry about 40 grams of sugar. So a can of soda will typically have less sugar than this bottle of fruit juice.
The beverage maker Naked Juice has just agreed to settle a class action lawsuit. The California case claimed its juice was not 100% natural, as the label said. So it will no longer make those natural claims, and the company will refund $9 million to consumers who bought it. So if you bought Naked Juice between 2007 and August 2013 this year, you can receive up to $75 in refunds if you can find your receipts. Most of us, of course, don't have them. If you don't have a receipt, you can claim up to $45.
You got a TDI here? Clean diesel. You're good to go, sir.
Good morning. The Department of Justice took rare action yesterday, indicting 6 Volkswagen executives and levying the largest fine against an automaker in U.S. history. This comes after Volkswagen, Europe's largest car maker, admitted to installing software on nearly 600,000 vehicles in the U.S., lowering emissions results during EPA testing. Volkswagen agreed to pay a total of $4.3 billion in fines, $2.8 billion in criminal penalties, along with another $1.5 billion to settle civil and environmental claims. The company will also plead guilty to 3 felony counts. Now, those 6 indicted Volkswagen executives, they have charges ranging from conspiracy to defraud the U.S., to wire fraud and violations of the Clean Air Act.
Some things men don't want to talk about,
Like prostate problems. But I learned 1 in 3 men will have them. So I switched to One-A-Day Men's.
A complete multivitamin plus lycopene, which Harvard studies suggest may help prostate health.
Pharmaceutical giant Bayer has agreed to pay up for misleading claims about its men's multivitamins. The $3.3 million settlement was reached between California, Illinois, and Oregon. Attorneys general in those states sued Bayer over marketing claims that its One-A-Day Men's multivitamins reduce the chances of developing prostate cancer. As part of the settlement, each state will receive around $1 million. In addition, Bayer has agreed that any future claims of health benefits will be backed by sound science. Now, Bayer had promoted the multivitamins in a strikeout prostate cancer campaign. On the labels, it mentions that emerging science suggested that selenium helped prevent prostate cancer, a claim that some experts dispute.
That's why One-A-Day Men's is a complete multivitamin with selenium, which emerging research suggests can help prostate health.
From the court of public opinion,
I think size matters,
to the courtroom, a new proposed class action lawsuit is now accusing Subway of deceptive advertising.
Any regular footlong.
The worldwide viral controversy started with a quirky Facebook photo posted in Australia showing a Subway footlong coming up short at only 11 inches. This morning, 2 New Jersey men are now aiming to take the world's biggest fast food chain to court, saying short sandwiches are leaving them shortchanged. The suit, filed under the New Jersey Consumer Consumer Fraud Act alleges it's a deceptive practice for Subway to advertise its large sandwich as a footlong.
Naturally, you want the best for your baby. Your own doctor can tell you there is no better, safer choice than Pet evaporated milk.
In the 1970s, the company expanded its baby formula market and began advertising its formula as better than breast milk, aiming to manipulate customers by spreading the story that its formula is good for babies and provides all of the nutrients that breast milk lacks. Medical experts were even bribed to testify on their side. The most terrible thing Nestle did was hire saleswomen in developing countries of Africa and Asia and assign them to give medical advice to moms and hand them free baby formula samples. Because the women were dressed as nurses, undereducated mothers in undeveloped nations believed them. The free samples were carefully weighed and packaged to last just until the moms became totally dependent on the formula and stopped lactating. The company's horrible PR stunt led to the death of thousands of infants because the mothers were swapping Nestle's infant formula for breast milk. This left the babies deficient in the essential nutrients that breast milk provides.
If you bought a pair of Vibram 5 Fingers running shoes, you could be in for a refund. The shoemaker has agreed to pay out $3.75 million to customers who bought the shoes after 2009. Critics say the company advertised that the shoes benefited health and prevented injuries. The company has agreed to stop those claims.
These kids are ready to party in the spacious pool they see on the box cover. But instead, they're getting a lesson about a shady sales tactic, the photo fake out.
Okay, you guys ready to see this pool? Yeah! Never mind.
The pool's distributor, Manly Toys, has to pay $8.5 million after losing a deceptive packaging lawsuit in 2013 and has changed those box photos.
What cigarette do you smoke? You'll be interested to know how the doctors of America answered that question. Tens of thousands of doctors in all parts of the country, in every state of the union. Doctors in every branch of medicine were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" In this nationwide survey of general practitioners, surgeons, throat specialists, diagnosticians, and so on, the brand named most was Camel.
Yes, according to this survey, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Proof of no adverse effects to the nose, throat, and sinuses. Now, this proof comes from the latest report, just received, covering a full 16 months. And it comes from a doctor who's been examining a group of Chesterfield smokers as part of a program supervised by a responsible, independent research laboratory. Now, after a full year and 4 months, the doctor reports again, no adverse effects to the nose, throat, or sinuses from smoking Chesterfields. Now, don't you want to try a cigarette with a record like this?
The most popular brand of filtered cigarettes had filters made with asbestos. And not just asbestos, they were made with chrysotolite, also known as blue asbestos, which is the most dangerous kind of asbestos to breathe. It even says on the back, scientifically, the most effective filter ever developed to free cigarette smoke of impurities, removes nicotine and tar particles as small as 0.2 of a micron, leaves in the rich, mild flavor of fine tobacco. No other cigarette approaches such a degree of health protection and taste satisfaction. When the truth came out about asbestos, the industry had a reckoning about all the information it had covered up showing the product was dangerous. Lorillard has been sued a number of times because of how dangerous their products were, and there have been a number of multi-million-dollar verdicts against that company. In fact, just as recently as 2015, 2 different juries awarded 7-figure awards to the people and families who had been killed by smoking asbestos-filtered Kent cigarettes.
In Chod we trust. Hit subscribe now, that's a must. Cringemunch. Let's go. Sit back, unwind, I expose the fakes every single time. Yeah, you know what I came to do. We gon' share and laugh at every single fool. Now, hop in the driver's seat. Come witness the masterpiece. Got these fakes all mad at me. Be real or you got to leave. Psychic liars, fake gurus. So crazy, must be cuckoo. Guarantee you gon' laugh a bunch. Here with the Cringemunch.